Someone was telling me I needed to upgrade my setup. So I tell you what, if I get to 400 subs, or when I get to 400 subs, I will upgrade the setup and move to a computer. But this video is going to cost me 5 subs. So it might be a while before I hit 400. Ricky Gervais did not Epstein himself. Oh, I disavow everything I said in the last video and this video. #resist. Hollywood. We must defend Cosby, Kevin Spacey, Weinstein, and Epstein. You can send me your comics at biancazombie602@gmail.com or art for the channel, or if you want me to mention your campaign, no problem. Though, I'm sure a lot of people don't want to be associated with this channel. I totally understand. I haven't looked at Indiegogo in a while. Maybe more on that later if I have space. A wretched hive of scum and villainy. Hollywood is full of the most evil people on earth. Weinstein just got caught. There is a ton of monsters like Weinstein or Epstein in Hollywood. It's good to know that Joe Murch at the UK's Independent will shill so hard to protect the monsters who run Hollywood. And they are monsters. Instead of saying P to the D to the E to the O, maybe I could just substitute Epstein. Stay away from my kids, you filthy Epstein. Well, Hollywood is full of people who prey on children like Epstein or Spacey, or prey on adults or women like Weinstein and Cosby. It's an open secret in Hollywood. Ricky Gervais just had the balls to actually address it. How dare you? How dare you, Ricky? How dare you tell the truth? Don't you realize that is istophobic? If you're defending Weinstein, Epstein, Spacey, or Cosby, why? What the hell is wrong with you? I get it. You hate women. Maybe I better not say that. Maybe I'll just say, maybe you're just an incel. But aren't children sacred? I mean, come on. This isn't the Middle East. Sorry, Aisha, Muhammad. Do I leave that joke in there? Sure, I don't think Durka is listening. And there go 5 subs. So why are so many leftists defending people who hurt children and young men and women in Hollywood? Probably because they're horrible people. It's not rocket science. Plus, they have the Sean Penn mentality. They think they are a chosen group of small gods who are made to, if not rule the world, at least control the narrative. And shouldn't gods be able to do as they please? Rules don't apply to the limousine and cocaine crowd. God, I miss drugs. If you're familiar with Sean Penn, he got his nose bent out of shape a few years ago when someone dared to joke around. They seem to think actors are big-brain thinkers. Actors are jokers, jugglers, dancing monkeys. They entertain us for lots of money. Ricky didn't go far enough. They would gladly wear blackface and dance on the graves if the money was right. When you have no principles, morality is flexible. I'm looking at I won't say it. Hollywood was cheering women who were proud of killing children. They were in tears applauding themselves. Society has done 180. When these degenerates are on stage, there's something wrong. You think Weinstein was some secret anomaly? Don't you think it's odd that nobody called the FBI? I would say, or called the news, but the same companies that own Hollywood own the media. A few decades ago, there was a child actor on the Barbara Walters show who spilled the beans. I want to say it was Corey Haim or his brother, or Hain or something like that. I forget his name. He's on Twitter somewhere. She chastised him for hurting the millionaire abusers in Hollywood. She did it live on TV. Can you imagine how powerful Hollywood was before social media was able to start limiting their power by laughing at their narrative? Social media is changing the power structure of the elites. Oh, I know that sounds like Alex Jones. It's why they're so eager to shut down free speech. You know, speaking of free speech and power structures and elite, they did shut down Alex Jones's free speech. Huh. Interesting. They want to shut down free speech by enacting Orwellian hate speech laws. Hate speech being defined as speech to the right of Stalin, Mao, Castro, Pol Pot, Papa Doc, the Kim trilogy. If you disagree with us, you should go to jail. If you disagree with the media and Antifa and Hollywood and the UN, who decides what is offensive? Well, the left-wing media will make the rules. You know what they call people without free speech? Slaves. If they control speech, they control ideas. Think how much power this gives them. You can't criticize crime rates or open borders because it's hate speech. Thus, right-of-center politicians can't speak on these issues. Thus, they won't get elected. The nation will just continue to move to the left. It's from The Independent when he talked about the Ricky Gervais situation. I just want to read this two comments. Remember, The Independent was the first newspaper to fall for the OK Sign hoax from 4chan, and after that, the media had to keep repeating it not to make themselves look like total retards. Incidentally, making them look like total retards. Better headline, a comedian did comedy and hurt our feelings. Ricky Gervais cheapened the Golden Globes, but worse, he overshadowed vital political statements by a bunch of Epstein and Weinstein defenders. If there's a place for smutty humor, it's at Friday night work drinks after one too many, not on the stage that birthed the Me Too movement by Joe Merck. Gene Kelly turned over in his grave. Why, was he a degenerate like you? Once upon a time, Hollywood was synonymous with elegance and class. Facts are not evidence. But Gervais's tirade of nasty and smutty jokes prove that tabloid culture has leaked its way into even the highest tier of entertainment? Are you insane? Oh God, this is such a garbage website. Your website sucks. Maybe I'll try Reading View. I clicked Reading View on the Kindle. It's interesting. I guess I don't know, the format's a little bit better. Okay, Hollywood being synonymous with elegance and class. Hollywood is all a bunch of illusions. To fall for it just means you're like that guy who was watching the Star Wars the Rise of the Jedi, that guy who's crying at what is essentially a 2-hour commercial to sell toys. Hollywood is not synonymous with elegance and class. It's synonymous with Epstein, Weinstein, all these filthy alcoholic, degenerate cocaine heads Kevin Spacey young boys. That's what Hollywood is synonymous with. High society. If that's high society, it can go get effed. Risque speech. It's not risque speech. Ricky Gervais was, in your own vernacular, speaking truth to power. God, I know how stupid that sounds. But the thing is, with the left, you have to use their words against them. You are a woman of color, you're trans, you're identify as a weasel, whatever, and you're marginalized and oppressed, and you're every time you speak, you're speaking truth to power. And if someone speaks against you, then they're being racist. That's it's easy for me because I am a trans lesbian woman of color, so I do recognize that I don't have any privilege, so I can't punch down on anyone because I'm at the lowest of the social justice warrior hierarchy. Gives me a lot of free speech, which I like. The awards were not free from activism, including powerful speeches by Jennifer Aniston on climate change. Well, when did Jennifer Aniston find time to get her PhD in atmospheric physics? I have a STEM degree, and we did discuss climate change. Let me tell you, there's a lot to climate change, specifically 4 billion years, sorry, Mike Miller, Doug TenNapel, of the coevolution of climate and life. Actually, that's the title of a book I have on my bookshelf right now. It's called The Coevolution of Climatology or Climate and Life or something. It's very interesting. It talks about the billions of years, pre-oxygen, post-oxygen, that kind of thing. Okay, so my point is, you don't have to have a PhD in physics or mathematical modeling to understand climate change. But the people who are talking about climate change have done zero research. And even at the BS level, when I was looking into it, there's a lot going on. And people are afraid to say, I don't know. And when someone is certain about something, it's like the louder they talk, the more certain they are. But then you have to ask them, well, how do you know what you know? And what would it take for me to disprove what you know? And if they say, well, there's nothing you could say that would disprove me, like in a religious argument, then there's no point in having further discussion because you can't change their mind. Anyway, so Jennifer Aniston, Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know who that is, Patricia Arquette, like Ricky Gervais said, a lot of them dropped out of high school. And I mean, I know people who dropped out of high school who are brilliant, but they're brilliant because they opened a book or they learned how to do something. These actors, nobody ever tells them they're stupid. It's like the beautiful girl syndrome. Nobody ever tells her her ideas are bad or silly. It's kind of like the beautiful girl / minority syndrome when you have people purse puppy. Anyone with, like, liberals will do this to people with brown skin. They won't tell them their ideas for selling cat meat on the street is a bad idea because they think it's punching down or something, where someone who believes in equality will say, no, Kareem, you can't sell cat meat on the stream or cat mittens because people like cats for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a bad idea, Kareem. And these liberals will say, oh, no, Kareem, you do it. You go ahead and skin cats on the street. People will love it. It's like the bigotry, soft bigotry of low expectations. Anyway, oh, hey, what's this? This is a guy in the UK who is the Struggle Snuggle world champion, or at least the world champion of the UK. He's in England for some reason. Okay, all right. Let me get to these filthy degenerates. Okay, my point is, Greta Thunberg is a 16-year-old activist. She doesn't have a PhD in physics either, or chemistry, or geology. She just knows what these actors know. They all know what they've been told. And here's the thing about research into global warming and climate change, that aspect of the hard sciences. There is so much politics in academic research and hard sciences. It's like if you were to come out and do a study if you were to just do a study that didn't go in the direction they wanted, you'd be in trouble in academia. There are a lot of studies I can't even talk about on YouTube. There's a Japanese guy who did a study in the anthropological fields of, I'm not going to say anymore. Greta Thunberg and these actors, they don't know anything about climate change because this. You think they've gone through ice core data? And they say, oh, no. Well, of course we haven't. We haven't researched at any kind of hard science level. We're listening to researchers. Well, where do those researchers get their funding from? Oh, well, they get their funding from the climate activist group. Where do they get their funding from? They got their funding from a Soros group or some far left group. So in science, you have to admit your bias. And if you're not admitting where your funding is coming from, and it's coming from an activist group, then you're clearly biased. The research is going to go one way. And the funny thing about human-caused climate change is, guess who the two biggest grossest polluters are? Well, it's China and India, of course. So is Greta going to go to China and India? No. I got distracted. Hold on, let me get to this. Gervais, like a teenager acting up to shock his parents, is a step in totally the wrong direction. It sends out the message that Hollywood is a place with no morals or respect, where true talent can be exchanged for a few expletives, and where the big issues hide in the corner while the village idiot dances under the big, bright spotlight. Hollywood is a place with no morals or respect, where a position in Hollywood can be exchanged for a position on the couch. I think that sums it up nicely. Anyway, send me your art, your emails. Thank you for the guy who sent the Liberty device. I like that a lot. It has 2 upside-down Liberty devices, which is awesome. Send me your art, BiancaZombie602@gmail.com, or just to shoot the shit. All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next episode.